remain indoors, at home, or in your offices.
The National Police Agency says everyone living within 20 kilometers of the Fukushima #1 nuclear power plant had left by noon on Tuesday. The government had ordered them to leave. Police used public buses and helicopters to move 546 people from hospitals and nursing homes for the elderly. Tokyo Electric Power Company says a fire has ceased burning at the #4 reactor building of the Fukushima #1 nuclear power plant. Earlier, the chief cabinet secretary said the fire may have caused a spike in radioactivity around the plant. Tokyo Electric says the fire started at 9:38 a.m. Japan time on Tuesday, but it confirmed at 11 a.m. that the fire had burnt itself out. The company says it has found damage to the roof of the building. The #4 reactor was shut down last November for maintenance and was not operating when the quake hit. However, the company says the temperature of the storage pool for spent nuclear fuel at the plant was 84 degrees Celsius, more than twice as high as usual. 783 nuclear fuel rods are stored in the pool. Tokyo Electric says it appears a lack of coolant caused the fuel rods to be exposed, and a hydrogen explosion followed. It says it now plans to begin pumping water into the pool. Hydrogen gas was also blamed for explosions on Saturday and Monday at the #1 and #3 reactors. Earlier, NHK World's Yuko Fukushima spoke with Kazuaki Matsui, who's executive director of the Institute of Applied Energy and an expert on nuclear power plant problems.
First of all, another explosion occurred at the #2 reactor of the Fukushima #1 power plant. So can you tell us how serious this is?
Yes, first of all, you may know already that at the time when the earthquake occurred, the 3 reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi power plant sites have been operated, and then those are safely shut down. That's a success story. And then anyway, finally we understand that there were 3 so-called explosions to hear or to watch. From the appearance, the #3 reactor's explosion was the biggest, and then the red fire and some big smoke, and then it looks like it's the biggest one, but the #2, the explosion, perhaps we are suspecting the hydrogen was the cause, or similar to the other 2 units, and then, but the place the explosion occurs nearby the bottom of the building, and then
In the screen it says suppression pool.
right,
Is that
and then
where it was?
yeah, right, and then it is said that suppression chamber or pool was damaged. We don't know yet how serious, how heavily breached that chamber or pool, but comparing to #1, #3, we believe that those containment vessels are all right, but #2 containment vessels somewhat breached, then we may be experiencing a little bit more radioactive materials released from that #2. It means #2 accident, I mean fire or explosion, comparing to the other 2 units, bigger.
Right, so #2 is more serious than
Right.
the other 2 previous explosions, the #1 and #3 reactors.
Right.
Okay. And now how about #4 reactor? There was news that there was fire there this morning. This wasn't activated, but it went on fire. Now, how serious is this situation, you think? The fire went out, but...
Right. Well, you have already explained a bit about the situation. I mean, the #4 was shut down about 4 months ago, and then they are now in the process of refueling and then maintenance. And then the spent fuel was stored in the so-called spent fuel pool. And the pool's temperature is maybe 30 degrees. You know, it's not a high temperature, then people are expecting the pool cool.
Cool
But,
down.
yeah, but we need some cooling systems because the spent fuel has a power of heat and heating
It
up.
still has heat
Right, yes.
in itself,
Right.
and it has to cool down.
Right, but somehow if it's a fire or explosion was again in the hydrogen, then it means zircaloid of spent fuel lot made from zirconium alloys. These metal react with water when its temperature rise up something at some hundreds degrees centigrade, then to produce a hydrogen. Then if the fire was an explosion there, it means